Hi, and welcome back to Fedmail. Thank you for joining us on this Friday afternoon, and Shabbat Shalom to you. I want to begin by extending my condolences. My thoughts are with the Friedman family. Just before Fedmail filmed this afternoon, it was announced that Riff Friedman, aged 92, passed away. Riff was a longtime leader in the Central Mass community, both in terms of business and Jewish life. I will fondly remember and cherish our conversations, and he provided a great deal of inspiration to our Jewish Federation. So our thoughts are with all of you. Around the world this week, a lot went on, as has been the case in recent memory. First, a group of Jewish campers was kicked off a flight traveling from Spain to Paris. They were returning from summer camp. They were purportedly singing Jewish songs, and they were kicked off. The camp counselors were arrested. They were arrested. They had been visibly Jewish. It was reported that they were wearing Jewish stars and had tzitzit and kippahs. So that was big news. And also making less of a headline was the fact that a mob attacked Jewish tourists in Rhodes. Also, French President Emmanuel Macron announced that he would bring Palestinian statehood to the United Nations this fall when they meet, and that was met with a lot of concern in Israel. Some of the responses from the Israeli cabinet were that this was a reward for the October 7th attack. So certainly very, very big news on that front. This was the first G7 country, I believe, to announce that they would recognize Palestinian statehood. And all of this is coming on the heels of quite a bit of criticism leveled at Israel from some of Israel's closest allies, including Canada, England, Germany, Australia, and I had talked about that in recent weeks, but the situation in Gaza this week related to the humanitarian relief efforts and the fact that it appears that just not enough humanitarian aid and food is getting in has become quite an acute situation. There are a number of world leaders who have raised the alarm about this. So Israel hopefully will be able to get more aid in while also continuing to seek the rescue of the 20 remaining hostages who are believed to be alive, and the remains of 30 plus more still being held in captivity in Gaza. And all of this is happening while the negotiations have yet again sadly and tragically broken down. Hamas made demands this week to have terror leaders who had been responsible for the October 7th attack. These are some of the Nakba elite forces that had carried out those atrocities in Israel. They were demanding that they be released as part of the ceasefire negotiation. Also, there was concern over where Israel would be relocating the troops, the IDF troops, as part of the ceasefire arrangement, and ultimately an agreement couldn't be had. Hamas backed out, and Israel and the United States both recalled the negotiating team from Qatar. So really a horrific situation now with the hostages in captivity for nearly 2 years, the situation on the ground in Gaza becoming more and more untenable for the civilian population, and Israel's long-term strategy being called into question now. So hopefully we'll see some major changes there, and we'll see Hamas surrender, which is ultimately what is needed to have this war come to an end. But there is a lot of pressure on Israel at the moment, and we'll see how things play out in the coming days. Locally, we have quite a few things going on, which is nice to see as the summer, we're now at sort of the midpoint of summer. B'nai Shalom is having 2 programs, one a Shabbat in the park, and also a Holocaust project where they are bringing in a Holocaust survivor to talk about their experience. So you don't want to miss that. Check out the flyer in Fedmail below. And also, it was really nice to see that our incoming Shlicha, Aviv Levin, was visiting with our Rabbi Michael Swartz and his family in Israel. And Aviv is really excited to be welcomed into our community in just a few weeks. And it's great. She's gotten a chance to meet with Dolev and also Mayan, our most recent shlicha, and Dolev, of course, was a shliach not long ago as well. So we're looking forward to welcoming her, and it's always a bright spot in our community calendar when we have events put on by our shlicha. Also this week we are marking actually it's not the upcoming week, but we are in the 3 weeks of mourning right now, and this is a time in the Jewish calendar where we pay special attention to our history. We recognize the destruction of both temples, the expulsion from Spain, and other calamitous events that befell our people during this period of mourning. So we mourn. We also take into account, it's a good time to do so with all of the events going on around the world, the many ways that we, need to come together and continue our mission to uphold Jewish values, and that is ever important. Certainly being a part of the leaders in the global community is important, and being good to one another as Jews is also really important. So our message as we approach these weeks, we continue to seek to be better people. I also want to recognize that we are on the few days before the commemoration of the third yahrzeit of the passing of Danny Baker, and our thoughts are with the Baker family as well. So a lot of heavy things going on right now. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom, and I want to thank you for being steadfast in your support of Jewish life in Central Mass and around the world. Take care. Shabbat Shalom. Bye-bye.